One mini world, one creation dream.
Of course. So, map resistor is going to be that one. Now we have to add a couple of things extra. So, once we finish with this, once we add the things like this, what you are going to do is just go here and we are going to add a new action. Okay, guys? The new action is going to be set timer per player. So this is going to be a variable, okay, guys? And I'm going to explain to you later why, but you are going to select assigned and you are going to select value setup, okay? Yeah, it was not a police, I think it was an ambulance. It seems that something happens in the area, but don't know what happened here. Here where I live very close to a hospital, so probably you are going to hear a lot of things, a lot of those sirens very often, because there is a lot of cases around that happen around that. We hear it all the time. So now that we have this, we are going to select assigned. In the value setup, we are going to create a new variable, okay, guys? The variable name is going to be time per minigame, okay? And this is going to hold just the time that you are going to use on each map. So as an example, 40 seconds is going to be just the game that I use. It's going to be the most useful. You can choose a different value. This is the one I recommend, but if you want to choose 60 seconds or 20 seconds for each game, it's okay. Very important, I choose this value because 40, it was enough time for the players to have a good experience, and also because when I choose very short times, players will have a little bit of lag every time that they change the game when they are not having the best connection. So 40 is going to be enough time for the players to play, okay? And also it's not going to be too much as 60. Once more, you can choose whatever you want, but that's the way I do, okay? The second one, we are going to do again the same. We are going to select assign and value setup, or the third one actually. And this time we are going to create a new variable, okay? It's going to be named time minigame start. You create that variable, and it's going to be slightly or else a little bit different from the other in just some aspect, okay? What we are going to have is 2 times. Time to start the game is when the player got teleport, so it's going to be 40 seconds, and timer minigame start is which actually when the game starts, when the players can play. So what will be the difference? We have 3 seconds for the players to be ready to see the scenario and just prepare itself to be able to play, okay? So the difference is that we are going to reduce that to 3 seconds. So what you are going to do, you are going to do a function, you are going to do math, and you are going to hit numeric calculation. In numeric calculations, you are going to select the same variable that is going to be time per minigame start, if I'm not wrong. Oh no, actually it's just the previous one. So remember, we are going to select time per minigame normal, not the one that starts, not this one, the one that just created, the previously one, the one that we created before. And then in the middle, you are going to subtract, and in the end, we are going to put 3 seconds. No more things needed for this one. Now we are going to start to create this next thing. So the brain is going to work according to a timer. So we need to start that timer here. So what we are going to do, we are just going to add a new action. We are going to select timer right here, and we are going to run a countdown timer. Remember, not this one that is going to go backwards from the number that you want to 0. And under we are going to select in here, we are going to create a new one that is going to be minigame, okay? Once you select minigame, we are going to select the variable or the amount of time. We are going to select time per minigame. And very important, guys, for this, the repeater timer needs to be true, okay? Once we got this completely finished, we already have our register map completed, okay? Of course, you are going to have to see some extra actions here. So those are going to be actions that you can activate or deactivate in case you want to test. So because if you are trying or testing your map, you don't want to wait until the 40 seconds happened. So if you want that, whenever you want to change or test something, just add here And remember, this is optional, a timer that says change timer timing, and just put it to 1 second. Minigame timer to 1 second. So remember, just activate this when you want to test. When you are in multiplayer or when you are going to actually play your game as a normal game, disactivate this, okay? And that's it. Now, we are already finished with our register. We are going to create a new trigger, okay? That is going to be the brain. This is which actually is going to manage all the different things in our game, okay? So how it works, we are going just to do something important here, and is just to check the timer. So what you are going to do is that you have to go here on timer, in word, sorry, game logic, and designated a timer change. Very important, don't select this one, select this one that is going to allow you to choose the timer. And when you choose this one, you are going to select the next one. When on here, you are going to select minigame, that is the one that we just created, the timer changes, okay? And very important, this is going to how it's going to work. Our trigger brain, or the one that manages the system, is going to read whenever the timer, the minigame timer, gets in number 1 or left 1 second, and it's going to tell the system to switch the minigame to turn off or to turn on the basic dynamics. So as an example, if you have a specific dynamic for your game or you don't want to use extra dynamics, it's going to turn it off. It's going to turn on all the features to the settings. So we always are going to have like the default option. That is going to be how most of the minigames are going to work. And this is going to just set up everything to the default back every like 40 seconds. And finally, it's going to start this timer. This timer, what it's going to do is that it's going to activate all the games. So if you have 100 games, it's going to run the activation for those games, but it's going to run the one that is activated, okay? So that's how it works. What we are going to do next, because we already have the action or the event, is that we are going to add a condition, guys. So go here, we are going to select add, we are going to select game, and we are going to select numerical calculation. When we are going to check how many time left for the timer, so just select on here, function library once more, and timer time. That will allow us to check how many time left for the mini game timer, the one that we just created some steps before. And very important, guys, this is very important. And here you are going to select equals to the number 1. So that means that when 1 second left, we are going to do the process of this brain. And that's 8 for the conditions. Now for the actions, we are going to add a new action, and we are going to select a script. Okay, guys? Once more, we are going to use a custom action and extra actions that we import with our library. This doesn't exist by default for MiniWord, so we are going to execute that action. And actually, this is going to be highly more complicated than the previous one, okay? Just check this. You are going to execute a new script. The script name is going to be switch game. And we are going to just go once more here to your script. In minigame code, we have the options here, and we got the options to change the minigame. So as you see, we have this one that says change to random minigame. So we are just going to copy that one. Once more, also you can copy it, or you just can use the same text that I put right here, okay? And it's going to be like this. As you see, it's highly complicated. We only need to put mini game switch and 2 parentheses here, and with that our game is going to change. So that means that we don't have to do anything else to actually make our game change. As you see, it's an action that is going to be very easy. You are using a script, but it's going to be very easy. You can type it also. You can just put mini game switch and the 2 parentheses. Very important, guys. If you type it by yourself, you need to have the same upper cases and lower cases that you are seeing in the screen. And that's it. With that, our game is going to change, okay? Of course, we left something else, and is that you put some extra difficult value here. And is that you are going to scroll down and you see how to create gems or stars in your game. And what we need to do by default, because we always want the default for all the games, is that we are going to turn off the spawns, okay? When the player is changing the minigame, we don't want the coins to spawn, we want the coin to spawn when the player starts the game. So how do you do that? Well, you just read here what it does, and here you say for the creating gems, there is a part that says turn off spawns, and the code is right here. Alright, so we just need to copy that. We go back to triggers, and in the one that we just created, we are going to put it just atop of the one that we just created. In this case, is going to be the number 0. And with that, your game is going to change to another game for any game that you already registered in your map. And that's it. As you see, it's not too hard to use these actions. Of course, I already have mine created right here. As you see, it's the same code. There is 2 lines. You can type it manually if you wanted to. And as you see, with this, you are going to learn some basics. Why is it important to learn this, guys, okay? Because, very important, guys, on here, when you are in scripts, you have this. That is the same, are all the script actions that you can use in MiniWare. And if you see here, you have all the options here. And as if you see here, it's just the same that I'm teaching you how to do. On here, you are going to get the name of an object that you have in your hands as an example. So as you see, the options are here. It's going to tell you what every part does, okay? So if you learn this, you will have the option, or you will learn the basics to start coding and start creating very simple codes. As an example, I usually advise you to start with the chat one, okay? So as you see here, we have the options, and it's telling us that we can use this code to send chat. And on here is going to tell us the option, okay? So the first one is going to be the text. There is the comma here. And finally, who is going to read the message, and is going to tell us that the second one is send the text to the player, to the UID. As an example, if you put a 0, it's going to send to all the players. And as you see, by just learning this, you will be able to use the scripts. But this is going to be for another class. For now, I just want to focus on the basics. This is the code that you need. Just hit on save. And this is the first part. Okay, now, very important, guys, our brain is going to be more efficient and more advanced than the one that you learned for the MiniCamp about natural disasters. And why? Because it's going to turn off all the things that we don't need, okay? So how you are going to do this? You are going to see those specific ones, and let me explain how it works. First, you need to add a new action. The action is going to be on trigger. And on trigger, we have these magical things that are being called first, change trigger status and change trigger set status. What will be the difference? This is going to change only one trigger, and this is going to turn off or turn on a full category. So as an example, if I choose the second, I can turn off all the minigame loop. If I choose the first one, I can only change this one or this one, okay? So we are going to turn off all and completely category. Why? Because, and this is very important, guys, because we are going to avoid everything to be executed all the time. We are going to activate only the things that we need to use. So just select this one, create trigger set status, very important, and you are going to get this menu. Okay, so very important, when it says trigger set, you are going to select trigger set, and we are going to turn off like 2 different things. First is going to be the folder that says minigame loop, and you are going to change the state to off. That means that we are going to completely deactivate all the triggers that are inside there. You are going to just do the same. You are going to add once more, one in triggers, and change trigger set. And the second one that we are going to change all the time is extra dynamics. Once more, these are going to be the extra features that you are going to have per each game. That means that we don't need all the time. As an example, I have one That is going to make the players have a knockback. So that means when the two players collide, the good players are going to be knocked back. And I don't need that for all the games. So whenever I don't need it, the system is going to auto turn it off, so you don't have to do it manually. That's are going to be the first two options. The second one is going to be operate gen timer. The cooldown is going to be 3 seconds and the repeated is going to be 3, okay? So let me explain why we do this. We are going to go just to the timer, round down count timer, and once we have this, we are going to create a new timer. The timer is going to be gem timer. We are going to count down 3 seconds and we are going to repeat it as true. Very important, guys. On all the timers, even this one, need to have the same name, okay? Check the spelling, check that minigame has uppercase in the middle, so mini is going to be the first letter in uppercase, the second one game is going to be also an uppercase right here, and they need to be together with no spaces, and hem timer is going to be just the same, okay? And it's going to be as true. Now, very important, repeated timer is going to be a true. That means that with this, you can change the amount of time that the coins are going to be auto-spawned. So that means every time hen timer gets in 0, it's going to create a coin in the space. Now, we are going to just go to extra dynamics and we are going to create our first extra dynamics, okay? Remember, guys, we are going to go to extra dynamics and we are going to create the first one. And the first one is going to be, the new trigger is going to be spawn hems, okay? That's very important. Spawn hems. Once you have it, you are going to have it like this. Be sure that you are going to turn off this option. So that means it's not going to have the check mark. And what you have to do is just do the next thing. Here we are going to add a new event. The event is going to be designated timer change. And the timer is going to be gem timer, okay? The conditions, once more, is going to be math, numerical comparison. Once you have numerical comparison, you are going to change this and you are going to put timer time. You are going to select gem timer equals to 1. And we are going to execute a custom script. That means that we are going to execute another custom action. So just go to to scripts, execute a script. Once you've got it, you need to put this text, okay? Once more, I'm going to put the title here, spawn star, and you only need to put and copy this, okay? This one doesn't be needed, you only need to just push this text. What it's going to do is to spawn a coin according to your map. So if your map registered, you put like as an example, I don't know, that you want the coin to spawn at the borders, this is going to auto spawn the system. So once more, when I take this new action, it's just from here, okay? So from MiniGameCore, you can read the options here. And it says that it's spawn hem automatic with not having to do anything specific, it's just spawn hem and with parentheses with no number or nothing here. So I just copy and paste it right here. And we have that option, okay? So that's a new action. And as you see, it's very simple to put it on. Now, once you create this, just move back to the frame and we are going to add a new action, okay? The action is going to be, once more, triggers, and we are going to use a lot of this one. This time we are not going to choose this one. We are going to choose this one, and it's change trigger status. And once more, this allows us to do the same as the previously one, that we turn off a lot of things, but for just one trigger. And on here you need to go to triggers, extra dynamics, and select spawn hems. And you need to turn it on. That means that, by default, in all the games, you are going to have the coins. And the final thing that you need to do for this one is just go ahead to player here. To timer here, run the countdown timer. And once more, we need to create a new variable this one is next minigame. And very important, the spelling needs to be the same. Just select that one. And countdown timer is going to be just 1 second, and repeated timer is going to be false. And with this, we have created our first game. So what is going to happen if you got this, okay? Let me explain a little better. Don't check that, because what I'm going to do right now is maybe a little confusing for you. So remember, don't do this. It's just for showing you how it's going to work for you if you have everything working fine. Here, just 1 second, I have something. Okay, that is my test feature. Remember, don't do this. I'm just doing it because I want to test. But if everything is working fine, if everything is working as it's supposed to be, what you are going to get is the next thing. Okay, give me a second here. Let's do this. I don't want to wait those 40 seconds, so I'm going to change something else. Just give me a second, guys. Now, 1 second. If everything goes right, you are going to be teleported to the area where you create your minimap, your starting minimap, okay? So, as you see here, right here, in this area, that is going to be the one that is going to be the elimination area, but nothing else is going to happen because we just set up the rooms and we just set up the teleport. But if everything works fine, you are going to be teleported to that area, okay? And that's it, guys. For now, we're almost finishing the class. Okay? And remember, if you find out that something doesn't go like the way I did, if you are not teleported to the area or to any of the area that you registered right here, okay? So as an example, if you already registered all your minigames, but you don't get teleported, remember to check, just go back in this video and check if you made something wrong on the area. And also, if you have a mistake, just comment into the message here or go to the Discord channel and let me know, so I will be able to provide you more instructions. But right now, as you see, that's how the game is working. We already have the basics. In tomorrow class, we are going to add our first minigame, and depending on the minigame, I'm going to teach you the next dynamics that you need, and I'm going to teach you a couple of things more. But for now, we are going to keep it like it is. We are going to start tomorrow to set up our first one, that is the elimination room, okay? That's the most important because we are going to be teleported every like 5 rounds to that specific area. Now, before leave, don't forget to do this. We are going to go once more right here to the library, and in the library, guys, I need you to go here where it says YeyoCore. Once more, you are going to copy. Be sure that you copy in the same language because probably you are reading it into another language. If that happens, just be sure that you deactivate here in your browser the different language traduction, and we are going to create a new script, okay? The new script that we are going to create is just by copy and paste it and rename it as a music chord, okay? Don't worry, we are not going to use it yet, but it's just the library that we can use to actually have custom music for your maps. Of course, once more, and here you have the API. So as an example, if you want to, let me hide myself. If you want to try out by yourself, just by the same system, by adding like custom actions, you can play the previous song, play in the next song, stop any song, or resume all, okay? And also you can have it for a specific player. On here you have the options, but I'm going to teach you that later. For now, we just import that one and save it. And that's it, guys. That will be the class for today.